Most women spend a lot of time asking the wrong question. How do I make him choose me? How do I make him commit? How do I make him see my worth?
But the right man doesn't make you spend years trying to convince him. He doesn't leave you constantly wondering where you stand. He doesn't make you feel like you're competing for a place in his life. Many women learn this too late. A true relationship doesn't become perfect. You still face problems, you still disagree, you still go through difficult seasons. But certain things happen consistently. Not because he's flawless, not because fate magically removes all challenges, but because when a man genuinely sees a future with you, his behavior starts revealing it. The problem is that many women ignore those signs. They focus on chemistry, excitement, butterflies, intensity. Meanwhile, they overlook the things that actually matter. So let's talk about the 5 things that almost always happen when a man is truly meant for you.
Number 1, you don't have to convince him to care. This is one of the biggest signs. You don't spend your relationship trying to convince him to care. You're trying to convince him to call, trying to convince him to make time for you, trying to convince him to show effort. And every conversation feels like a battle. But when a man is meant for you, care doesn't feel like something you're pulling out of him.
It comes naturally. That doesn't mean he reads your mind. It doesn't mean he never makes mistakes. But it does mean his actions consistently show that you matter. People make time for what matters to them. People invest. People protect what matters to them. A man who truly wants you doesn't need endless reminders that you exist. It's exhausting for a woman to feel like she's carrying the entire relationship.
Always initiating, always fixing, always chasing, and always holding things together.
The right relationship doesn't feel like that, because you're not the only one trying. Love should never feel like a one-woman job. Number 2, he brings peace, not constant confusion. Many women mistake emotional chaos for passion.
The hot and cold behavior, the mixed signals, the uncertainty, the constant wondering. Does he like me? Does he still care? Why is he acting different? Where is this relationship going? All that confusion gets mistaken for love, but confusion is not a sign that someone is meant for you. When a man is meant for you, you don't spend every day decoding his behavior. You don't need a group chat to analyze his latest text message.
You don't need to become a detective, because his intentions are clear. Again, not perfect, clear. There's a difference. You know he cares. You know he values the relationship. You know he's present.
That creates emotional peace. Emotional peace is one of the most underrated forms of attraction. Many women don't realize how exhausted they've become until they experience a relationship that feels safe. A relationship where they're not constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. A relationship where consistency replaces confusion. That's not boring. That's healthy. And healthy often feels unfamiliar when you're used to chaos.
Number 3, he makes decisions with you in mind. This is a huge one. A man who sees you as part of his future starts thinking differently. His decisions stop being only about him. He starts considering how those decisions affect you, not because you're controlling him, not because you're demanding it, because that's what people do when someone becomes important. Think about it. When someone matters, they naturally enter your decision-making process. You consider their feelings, their schedule, their needs, their future. The same thing happens in relationships. A man who's meant for you doesn't live like you're a temporary visitor in his life. He makes room for you, he thinks ahead. And that's one of the clearest signs that you're not just part of his present, you're part of his vision of the future. But the better question is, do his decisions include you? Intentions are easy to talk about, priorities are revealed through actions. Number 4, you feel more like yourself, not less. This might be the most overlooked sign. Many women assume love means losing themselves, giving up parts of who they are, making themselves smaller, adjusting everything to keep the relationship alive. But the right relationship does the opposite. It allows you to become more yourself, not less. You don't feel like you're constantly performing. You don't feel like you have to hide parts of your personality. You don't feel like you're walking on eggshells.
You don't feel like you're afraid one wrong move will make him leave. Instead, you feel accepted, seen, safe.
If one of the strongest signs is that your life expands around him, not shrinks. You continue growing. You continue dreaming.
You continue becoming who you're meant to become, Because healthy love supports growth. It doesn't require self-erasure.
Number 5, the relationship moves forward. This is the sign many women avoid talking about because it forces them to confront reality. When a man is meant for you, the relationship moves forward. Maybe not quickly, maybe not perfectly, but forward. Wondering, trying to be patient, trying to be understanding, trying not to ask for too much.
Meanwhile, nothing changes. The relationship stays stuck, conversations stay vague, commitment stays unclear. The future stays uncertain, and eventually, years pass. Here's a difficult truth. People don't need years to know if they want to move forward with someone.
They may need time for circumstances, time for logistics, time for growth, but genuine interest creates movement.
He takes steps, he has conversations, he makes plans, he creates progress. Because people move toward what they genuinely want.
Stagnation is often one of the loudest answers a woman can receive. If nothing is moving, pay attention.
Because relationships are meant to grow, not remain frozen. Notice what wasn't on this list. Looks, money, chemistry, grand romantic gestures. None of those things guarantee that someone is right for you. The strongest relationships aren't built on intensity. They're built on consistency.
The right man doesn't leave you constantly questioning your worth. He doesn't make you beg for effort.
He doesn't make you feel like loving you is a burden. Instead, his actions create clarity, peace, security, progress, and growth.
That's why the biggest sign a man is meant for you isn't that he says all the right things, it's that his behavior makes your life better. Not perfect, better. You'll see intention. You'll see movement. And most importantly, you'll see consistency.
The right relationship doesn't make you chase basic love. It gives you a reason to trust it. This was Femme Forward, and I'll see you in the next video.